Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for Monday, June 10th, 2019. Now, it does not have to be June 10th, 2019 in order for you to get something out of this video. This video is timeless. We're just looking at the next 7 days ahead, alright guys? Everything you need to know about me can be found in that description, alright? That includes contact information, how to book a private reading, and all of that kind of stuff. I do want to let you guys know that I'm only booking priority readings. Those are readings that you will get within 2 days from ordering. I am just kind of backed up a little bit too much to continue the regular orders until I get caught up. That said, let's go ahead and name the piles, alright? Pile number 1 is a red butterfly. Pile number 2 is a white butterfly. Pile number 3 is a green butterfly. Pile number 4 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 5 is a pink butterfly, and pile number 6 is the orange butterfly. Now, this would have been the purple butterfly, but I felt that purple was a little bit too close to the color. So if you normally pick purple and you're like, where is it? Maybe this pile would call to you. But of course, you know, just kind of relax and think on it, and whatever pile is calling to you, whether there's 1 or 2, you know, the law of attraction will guide you to what you need to hear, okay? Alright, that said, I do want to mention the reading's a little bit different today than it is usually for my general readings, you know, that I always put out on Mondays. I have used 2 different Rider-Waite tarot decks, okay? I felt drawn to do that. I think it's because some of you guys are supposed to get 2 of the same cards, and I think it also might have to do with maybe the same cards need to come up in multiple piles. I'm not certain. I just felt really drawn to do that. So I just wanted to kind of prepare you for that. The readings will probably be longer as a result. So that said, we're going to start with pile number 1. If you have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause the video. And otherwise, we're going to start with pile number 1, okay? Right. As always, seems like this is the only time I think about how I really need to figure out what I'm going to say when I move these cards around. Alright, hi, those of you guys who picked pile number 1, the red butterfly, here's your reading. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords, we have the 2 of Wands, we've got the 10 of Cups, we have Death, so we've got the Page of Cups, we've got the 7 of Cups. We also have Voice and Navigating by the Stars, Follow Your Bliss. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be just big changes this week, okay? Most of this is going to have to do with your emotions. Most of it's going to have to do with emotions, and unfortunately, a little bit of that is going to have to do with anxiety. You might find it a little bit difficult to sleep this week at night, or you might find yourself being really worried about something. Just know that, I mean, you know, we all go through times where we get worried about things. It's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just be aware that in some situations, this particular card comes out when we are kind of spooking ourselves by overthinking about things. Do try to, you know, be aware of how much you are attaching to the negative in your mind. That way you can stay healthy and balanced about how you're thinking. It looks like you're going to be waiting for something, okay? This is something that's been kind of a conflict for you. I'm getting that for most of my viewers, I would say like 85% of you, so most of my viewers are going to get whatever it is you're waiting for. You're going to get like either an answer about that, or you're going to get some kind of resolve, you know, that kind of thing. It feels to me, just based on, you know, what I'm picking up, that this has much more to do with something like work, or waiting for maybe a letter, contact, a document, that kind of thing, than it does like in love. You know, usually this feels a little bit love charged for me, and it really doesn't right now. So do know that if you're waiting for something, it should come probably in the mail this week. Another thing I want to say is that, you know, this card, it's just really telling me to say a lot of things here. It also talks a lot about expanding your worldview. So this might be an opportunity to experience something. It could be like a book. It could be like moving up in your job. It could be like traveling maybe, or relocating. Just something that's going to expand your worldview, okay? And it's, you know, and it's something that, you know, you might still be on the fence about, okay? But yeah, for most of you, you're going to get that resolved. And then like the other, like 15% of you, it just feels like you know that whatever it is that you're supposed to be getting in the mail, and for those of you who this applies to, it's going to feel right. It's going to feel, when I say this, it's going to feel like, yeah, that's actually true. Whatever it is that you're waiting for, you actually don't need it. You need to just stay where you are. You need to just stay in the same place that you are right now, because that would complicate your life way too much. So yeah, that's what that talks about. Now, I'm not going to ignore this. We have the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Cups. But first, I want to talk about the Death card, because it is a major arcana card. It's the only major arcana card that came up. This lets me know that there's going to be big changes. Okay, so whether or not you guys get that thing in the mail, or get that you know, whatever it is that you're waiting for, whether or not you take that and it changes your life, you know, in some kind of way, and just basically a new normal, or you don't get it and you decide, you know what, I actually need to stick with this. It's going to feel like there's something imminent about to happen that's going to either change things, or you're going to be going through some changes. I really feel like this worldview that I keep picking up on is what that change is. It's like you're opening up your perspective. And that's kind of reiterated over here with the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups usually talks about different opportunities. It also talks about needing to make a decision. Sometimes it refers to like a fantasy card for me. I'm not getting the, excuse me, I'm not getting the fantasy in this particular one. What I am getting is that this is like, you have a lot of opportunities, so you've got to just choose carefully. And that's where this card comes in and starts making a lot of sense. We've got Navigating by the Stars. This is Follow Your Bliss. So you've got to just choose what makes you happy, because in the end, that's what really, really matters, okay? For example, I'm just pretending if this means a new job for you, if it's not going to make you happy, don't accept it. It's like, or if you believe that maybe it won't make you happy, but maybe it'll make you more money, don't accept it unless making more money really is going to attribute more to your overall happiness, right? You know, obviously make your own decision. Please don't just take some stranger on the internet's, you know, advice. Just know that this is what the cards are showing, okay? So yeah, big changes. We've got emotional fulfillment this week, so that's good. You should not be feeling lonely, or I just feel like you're going to be feeling really positive. Yes, there is this card that, you know, I kind of call it the nightmare card, but it's, you know, the card that just talks about some anxieties, but understand that anxiety and feeling emotionally fulfilled, you know, those two can coincide at the same time without contradicting themselves. The anxiety is more, at least what I'm getting, is more self-created by kind of attaching to that negative thing. So just be aware of that. We also have, you're feeling like you're really connecting with other people. Maybe it's a little awkward for you to connect usually, but it's like right now you're feeling like you're connecting with people real well. And that, I think that adds to that emotional fulfillment for you, even if you're super introverted, okay? So yeah, some opportunities. We've got, you know, this thing coming. And then we've got Follow Your Own Bliss. You know, really choose what's going to make you happy. And then we've got this kind of, card that doesn't seem to have to do with any of this stuff. And what this lets me know is that there's going to be times this week for you guys. It's the voice, okay? It's got kind of a creepy picture on it. I kind of didn't want to show you guys, but yeah, it's got that kind of creepy picture. But the card is voice. And the reason we're getting this is that there's going to probably be some times this week where you're going to be kind of called, or you're going to kind of feel like maybe you should stand up for something, or maybe you need to intervene in a situation, or maybe you have a really good idea, but you're kind of maybe insecure, maybe shy. There's all sorts of reasons why we don't speak up, okay? But this is letting us know that it's, you'll have a better week if you stand up for those things, okay? For some of you, this might be more literal, like, if you're a musician, for example, and you're thinking about adding vocals to a song at your next jam session, this is saying, yeah, add that, If for some of you guys, it's just about being assertive, But yeah, this is, really think about finding your voice, really think about the throat chakra for those of you who follow that kind of, system. And, oh, sorry for that cut, guys. Somebody's phone went off and it got distracting. But what I was saying, of course, if you're a musician, but also this is just talking about time to voice your opinions. It's talking about times to be assertive, time to stick up for things. Use your voice for whatever it is that you might need to do this week, okay? Just know that... Another thing, this can be a problem for some people, at least it is for me. Sometimes I don't speak up because I don't feel like I'm either going to be taken seriously, or I feel like maybe somebody, like the person I'm talking to, won't hear me, that kind of thing. You will be heard, okay? This week is like, your voice is going to be very powerful this week, okay? So this looks pretty good, okay, guys? Of course, yeah, there's going to be, some anxiety here, but that's not, that's not the worst thing in the world, We all have anxiety and stress that comes from changes and everything, so that's not a big deal, I mean, it is, but it's not like, I don't see anything major that's horrible that's going to be going on in your week, okay? All right, guys. Okay, those of you who picked the second pile, the white butterfly, here's your reading. So we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Emperor, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Two of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have staying focused, hold the course, and air. Okay, so here's the deal. It's kind of hard not to just zoom right into the twos when I see them. The twos tend to represent either the kind of synergy between two opposing forces or the need to make a decision, okay? So here we have two very clear decisions, at least for me. We've got, using the head and kind of covering up the heart and just really... really being cerebral about whatever choice you have to make. Or we have using the heart, not really thinking so much about the head. I'm not saying that these are mutually exclusive, but this card is obviously about coming together, right? And this feels to me more about being divided. And this is, with the heart, obviously, okay? Some of you guys, this is just, to let you guys know that your love life's going to be great this week, okay? For those of you who are looking to face a decision, it seems like the biggest obstacle is, should I go with my head or should I go with my heart? Here's the deal. It does not have to be an either or. It can be a both and, okay? And know that you guys are going to be feeling like you really want to go kind of a conventional route. With your decisions, with your week this week. You just don't want any, extra, basically you don't want any extra BS in your week. You don't want a whole lot of extra stuff to worry about. Whatever decision you have to make, understand that you can make it with both your head and your heart. Just let them align naturally, or make the decision knowing that your head and your heart are both telling you two different things, that kind of thing. Just move forward and try to marry those together and come up with a synthesis of what both of them are saying, because that's the main thing here. Okay? With the Page of Pentacles, we have some kind of offer of some kind of job. Some of you guys might be starting a new class, joining a group. Some of you guys might be actually offered a job this week, or offered different hours, or offered to take somebody else's shift, that kind of thing. Or a side job, something like that. Maybe you're selling something on eBay and this is letting you know that you're going to sell it. It doesn't have to be necessarily huge. But this is just letting us know that you're going to gain something in the material world. Either that, or somebody's going to give you something. I mean, either way, it's a gain, and it's of value to you. It's not something just small. It's something of value to you, and it can be yes, it's small, like, maybe somebody gets you a crystal, for example, right? But for whatever reason, it holds a meaning to you, and that's what's important, okay? So that's something to look forward this week. Now, the Emperor lets us know that you're going to be feeling more like kind of sticking with rules, establishments, being very disciplined, and all of that kind of stuff. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. It feels like that's appropriate this week. And that's what you will need to do to stay focused and hold the course, okay? This is letting us know that whatever you're currently doing, keep doing it. You're on the right path. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You might not actually get that end accomplishment this week, but that's what you're supposed to stay on course. Just understand that sometimes when we get into that Emperor energy, we can become a little bit overly rigid, prone to being a little stubborn, prone to not trusting maybe our intuition or our emotions. I think that's why this card's coming up. Just letting us know that, yeah, you've got to also listen to your emotions. Some people don't like to listen to their emotions, and because they're irrational, for example, or they come from a place that doesn't seem sound, right? Well, just like our bodily sensations tell us when something's wrong with our body, okay? And our mind can tell us when something's wrong, with maybe a logical fallacy. Our hearts also tell us things. They tell us how we feel about something. They tell us whether or not we're in danger sometimes. So they're just as valid. You can get a lot of very good information from them. And I'm only saying that, I know that most of you guys don't need to hear that, but some of you guys, I'm saying that for the some of you guys that do need to hear that, okay? So, don't be too afraid to be emotional. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. Just know that your emotions are telling you something when they kind of spike up. So listen to them, okay? And we have this sense, though, even though we've got the Emperor here talking, Emperor talks about, discipline, and also, obviously he's a ruler, right? He's trying to make things fair, right? But there still is this feeling that something's not fair in your life right now. Don't worry about that. I really feel like this is just for this week. I don't feel like that's going to carry over a whole lot into next week. But this week, if it feels like, for example, somebody's not giving you the praise that maybe you need, or you've worked really hard for something and you ended up not getting it, or something like that. And I really do feel also that this attitude is going to be more towards the beginning of the week, okay, not at the end. But there's going to be a sense that things aren't fair, or things are a little off kilter, that kind of thing. Don't worry about it, because you're working to a better place, okay? Here we have, what I see here is somebody who really wants to get some things accomplished, and somebody who wants to make sure that they're doing the right thing, they're on the right path, they're sticking to what they've dedicated themselves to. They want to be loyal, that kind of thing. Understand, though, that sometimes when we have kind of boxed ourselves in to wanting to do this one thing, we get kind of tunnel vision. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's kind of supposed to be what happens, okay? We're human. That's what happens. This card is just letting us know that you might feel prone to being a little bit defensive about whatever it is this cause is. Understand that there is not really, if anybody says something that sounds real critical, or if somebody says something that makes you feel threatened for whatever reason, understand that you're probably overreacting. I'm not saying that all of you guys are going to overreact to everything. I'm just saying that, you know, this card comes up for me when somebody's feeling a little defensive. So do understand that you are going to be a little touchy about this thing until it gets completed, but it will. We also have air, okay? This can be kind of a challenging card because it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with air, right? This is letting me know that to both listen up, okay? Listen to, you know, music that's coming on, listen to what people are talking about. Maybe somebody's going to give you some advice. Maybe you'll hear some advice from a really unlikely source. Just really pay attention. At the same time, make certain that you're speaking up when you're getting, especially when you're feeling creative and we have new ideas. If somebody comes to you for advice this week, try to make some time, try to carve some time out of your schedule so that you do have the ability to sit with them and talk to them about that, because it feels like, this feels to me like, you know, something's going to be communicated that's going to be helpful, okay? So, that said, it looks like you guys have a good week here, okay? So just stick with whatever it is that you're doing. You're going to be fine, all right? Okay, hi. Those of you who picked the third pile, the green butterfly, here is your reading. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Six of Coins. We have the Queen of Pentacles. The Coins, Pentacles. We have the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Four of Wands. And we have the Queen of Wands. We've got Fire. Okay, and we have uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great beauty. This is great. For those of you who are very familiar, we'll see a very clear theme here. We've got coins and wands, earth energy and fire energy. We've got fire and we've got earth right here. So we're in the elements that we're supposed to be in. Now, some of you guys might want to apply that to astrology. I don't tend to like to use that in my readings, but I do know that some people do, and that would be like an earth sign or a fire sign. So we're talking about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, okay? But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that everybody that you interact with is going to be from those six signs, okay? I just want to, you know, throw them out there for those of you who find meaning in that. Ace of Wands, you're going to have kind of like a new spark. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be wanting to change things, especially when we have the fire right here. In a lot of religions, okay, fire is one of the four elements, right? Fire for me is a little bit different. I follow Druidry, and there's 3 elements plus 1, which might be like, well, that's the same, right? It's not quite, because we've got air, water, and earth, and then we've got fire, and that's a catalyst. That's what changes the states of the other 3. So I feel like the Ace of Wands is coming up saying there's going to be a change here, but it's coming from this kind of intuitive or impulsive maybe, or this kind of inspired spark, okay? And there's going to be something that you're going to be wanting to change, or something new you want to bring to the world as a result of this, okay? Good thing, things are going to be feeling really fair for you this week, okay? So you don't have to worry about any kind of major injustice for yourself, okay? We've got two queens. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Even for the guys out there who are watching, this lets us know that we are in creative energy, because we have two women, okay, and they're in the two suits that, you know, we're focusing in on right here. The Queen of Pentacles is showing us that be open to receiving, okay, and also understand that you're pretty much set, okay, for the week at least, you're fine. The Queen of Wands is all about passion and happiness. We see the sunflowers here, and she is also very intuitive. Of course, the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups, is the one that is supposed to be the most intuitive, but I find an intuition with the Queen of Wands as well that's very quick, very you know, very intense. So you've got a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So we're in creative power. We've got something new coming in that's going to change something. It looks like you guys are going to be real inspired, okay? Be aware that you might be juggling things this week a little bit, kind of taking on a little bit too much. We have some turbulence back here. That's okay. You can handle it. I really feel like you guys can handle it right now. Do understand there might be an opportunity that you might miss. I don't feel like this is a personal opportunity. I feel like this is, like, for example, this picture, it looks like, you know, for example, maybe you guys are going to miss a wedding that you thought you were going to go to, or maybe you're going to miss some kind of celebration. This is some kind of fun thing. This is something, or at least something that most people consider fun, right? It's some kind of event, and it looks like you guys might miss out on that, but it's okay. That you don't have to worry about that. If you end up making it, no problem, you know. But I just feel like most of you guys might be feeling a little bit conflicted about whether or not you're going to go. Just know that if something gets in the way from you going, that's okay. You're not supposed to be there. If nothing gets in the way, then go enjoy yourself, okay? Again, we've got fire. I really feel like this just kind of reiterates what this is saying. You know, we've got changes, we've got spark, we've got inspiration, we've got some passion there, so you're good. And then there's some kind of reward you're going to be getting at the end by the end of the week. Very valuable to you. It might not be physical, but it's something that you can use to work for yourself, you know. For example, it might be a certification in something, you know. For example, maybe some of you guys are getting, you know, getting recertified in CPR. You know, that would be something like what I'm talking about. It's something that would look good on a resume kind of thing, or it's something that's going to give you a new skill. Okay, so that's the kind of characterization that I'd put on this. Okay, so it looks like things are good. Really pay attention to creative energy this week, okay? Because if you get an idea or anything like that, write it down, kind of take note of it. Maybe you might not be as keen to explore those things this week, but or normally, but this week it's important. This week is time to explore those kinds of creative impulses. Okay, guys? Nothing negative here. Nothing negative at all. All right. Hi. Those of you who picked pile number 4, the blue butterfly, here is your cards. We have the Queen of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Moon. Okay, we've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Swords. We have Courage. And we have Journey by Moonlight. Believe in magic. Okay, there's a lot of different places that I can start here. I'm just kind of gathering my thoughts here to try to figure out what to go with first. The Moon is the only major arcana card that we've got here in this particular spread, and we have the Journey by Moonlight and Believe in Magic here. The Queen of Cups is a very intuitive personality, okay? And when we've got the Queen of Cups coupled with the Moon, and then we've got the Journey by Moonlight, I do feel like Either this is referring to your dreams that are going to be bringing you a lot of intuitive insight. Maybe you're going to have some aha moments in your dreams, so be aware of that. Or this could be talking about, waking intuitive insights. It doesn't necessarily have to happen at night. The moon can also talk about things that are hidden from us, hidden in the shadows. Things that we aren't privy to, for example. Typically, I've found that it relates to people's emotions. It's somebody's emotion that they don't want you to know about. So you might have a secret admirer, or you might have, be kind of confused about whether or not somebody likes you. And the truth is that they're keeping that hidden for now. For whatever reason, they're not comfortable to come forward with their emotions yet. Given that we've got this reiterating this card, though, I do feel like it's a positive emotion, not a negative one. Or it's emotion that you would be okay with. So if you're thinking about somebody like an ex that you really don't want anything to deal with, and you're not certain how they're feeling, believe in magic, they're magically going to get over you, okay? That kind of thing. I'm just using that as an example of how what one might see as a negative emotion could actually be a positive thing, okay? So yeah, the Queen of Cups, I think it's really interesting. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. We've got a marriage between the head and the heart. Another reading that came before you guys was talking about a dissonance between the two. Thankfully for you guys, this week they're going to be working together. What you feel and what you think are going to be perfectly aligned. Now's a really good time to voice how you're feeling, what you're thinking, your new ideas, that kind of stuff. You might not necessarily feel comfortable talking about it to other people, okay? But you might want to write it down. You might want to journal about it, that kind of thing, because it just feels like you have something important to say, because you've got this heart and head alignment that's just really in sync, It feels important. This week, don't worry about anything not being fair, or like things are gonna feel real balanced here, okay? So you shouldn't have any problems with that. Any of you guys that are going through any kind of legal thing, now I'm not a lawyer, I cannot give legal advice. This is a positive indicator. So if you are going through any kind of legal thing, this is letting us know that whatever is going to happen in that will most likely be positive, okay? We do have the Five of Swords. This can be a problem card, okay? Now, the Five of Swords is read two ways, generally, and I feel that this card's supposed to be read both ways for you guys, okay? So here we've got the guy in the foreground, okay? This guy. He's won, right? He's successful. He's kind of he went a little over the top, right? This is kind of like overkill, right? He's got he's collected all the swords. He's all proud of himself. And these people back here, they've been defeated like really badly, right? And then, let's look at the people in the background. We've got defeat. So we've got both success and defeat. We also have the clouds here that are kind of gray, so it's typically considered a more negative card. What I'm feeling this means for you guys is to be aware that in order to get ahead, sometimes other people have to suffer, and that's just the way of the world. It can be a very difficult thing to witness. For example, my partner Greg sometimes has to see people get fired that he really likes. He likes working with them and that kind of thing, and he gets kind of down about it for a couple of days. That, it's just like in order for the company to survive, they've got to downsize sometimes, right? It's kind of like that. You may find yourself on either side. Okay, sorry for that cut. I thought I was going to sneeze and I was going to be really embarrassed. What I was saying is you might find yourself on either side, but I think really is that for you guys, it's going to be more like an outside observer watching how some people win, some people fail, and it might seem a little arbitrary, but it's just the way that the world works. And unfortunately, it can be difficult to kind of like feel okay with that, but that's the way it is. So that's going to be kind of a little sub lesson this week for you guys. Make sure that you are feeling really confident. If you don't feel confident, fake it, because right now we have got a lot of you guys, you know, being willing to face something that maybe you haven't been wanting to face in the past, okay? Now, this wouldn't be, you know, I mentioned the moon and hidden emotions and things like that. This wouldn't be your own hidden emotions, no. This would be something that would be like facing, you know, maybe facing a bully, maybe just kind of sticking up for yourself and being like, hey, you know what, I think this is a really good idea, maybe we should do this. You know, that kind of thing. However it manifests for you, just know there's going to be a time this week that you're going to feel a little bit nervous about whether or not you should move forward, be assertive, that kind of thing. Go for it, okay? Because you're going, when you act with courage, you're going to get ahead this week, okay? So keep that in mind as well. You guys have a really good week. You really do. So be happy for it. All right, guys. Okay, those of you who picked the 5th pile, the pink butterfly, here's your reading. We have the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, the World. We've got the 6 of Swords, the Sun, the 5 of Wands. We've got Independence, and we have Solitude. Okay, I really like this reading. It's very straightforward for me, which I like. We've got 2 major arcana cards. Just want to kind of mention that. So far, of all of the piles, you have more major arcana cards. Okay, some of them had none. A few of them had 1. So let me go ahead and just kind of pair these up, because I really feel like these need to be read in a sort of paired up way here. All right. So we've got just, we're kind of, sometimes these readings are like really just coherent in that they all have to do with one subject, you know. For you guys, you're just kind of all over the place. You're going to have enough resources to feel really independent, okay? And part of this means you've got to take some time for yourself, okay? The 4 of Swords is kind of like resting a little bit. It can also mean just kind of going within. It's not as intense as a hermit, but it is talking about self-reflection and that kind of stuff. In silence, peace prevails. Solitude, there's something about being alone this week that's going to really help you charge up. Even if you're an extrovert, maybe there's something that you need to do by yourself. You know, that it's just whatever, for whatever reason, you have to do it by yourself. Just know that you're in that energy. It's supposed to happen, okay? With the World and the Sun, we have got you guys having a great week, because the World is talking about accomplishing everything, you know, whatever your to-do list is for this next week, you're going to get it done, okay? And we have the Sun, so we have a lot of happiness. Now, understand, I'm not saying, you know, you could put on your to-do list, become a millionaire, you know, and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's a little bit, you know, that's kind of pushing your luck, right? What I'm saying about the World here is that it's just showing that things are finally coming around. You're finally getting somewhere. You're finally reaching that point where you're feeling like you're getting some things done, you're being productive and that kind of thing. Things are just working out. You're going to have good luck probably this week, okay? So we have this, we've got just some squabbles here. This could be some kind of playful banter, you know, but maybe it got a little bit out of hand. We have you moving away from anything that's kind of maybe making you feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe somebody's flirting with you and you don't really like it, that kind of thing. it's not going to be an issue this week, okay? So if you've been having some arguments with some people, or if you have been around difficult people, you're moving away from that this week. For whatever reason, you know, maybe the person's not going to be as difficult. Maybe it's a coworker and they're going to be sick this week or taking a vacation. You know, whatever it is, you're not going to have to deal with this as much, okay? I'm not saying that this is totally 100% gone, you know, but it's greatly reduced this week. Okay, guys? So this looks great. I mean, there's nothing negative about this, unless you're an extrovert and you just really cannot stand this kind of solitude, you know. The best thing I can say for you guys is that, you know, you know, it is restorative in some way, okay? So yeah, you're doing good. Okay, those of you who picked the orange butterfly or the purple one, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Or if you pick the purple one, I'm just going to put that out there. Here's your reading. Okay, so we have Justice, the Hierophant. We have the Seven of Coins, we have the Queen of Cups, we've got the Fool, and we've got the Ten of Coins, the Ten of Pentacles, whichever one you want to call it. We have Healing, and we have Voyage of the Heart. My goodness, look at this. Wow. Okay, so, it looks to me like at the very beginning of the week or early on in the week or maybe last week you were really looking at finances, really looking at materials. Maybe you were cleaning out your closet, cleaning out your garage. Just kind of you know, you're just kind of looking at, you know, what can I keep, what should go, what is important, you know, what isn't. By the end of this week, you're going to feel all sorted and you're going to feel on top of things with this 10 of coins. You've got, like, you're feeling in control of your materials. You're feeling in control of money. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that if you are, for example, dead or something like that, that you're magically going to get out of it in 1 week. What I am saying is that you're going to feel like you've got at least a plan, that kind of thing. And then we have, so that's what this story is telling us, okay? Justice and the Hierophant. Justice is talking about, for me, it can talk about, obviously it can talk about law, it can talk about that kind of thing, but I really feel like for you guys this week, this is talking about truth. You're going to get objectivity, truth, you're going to, you know, maybe even something kind of science-y. And with that truth, with those facts, with that knowledge that you're gaining, you're going to apply that and become wise as a result. So this is taking knowledge and putting it into action, okay? So, understand that if there is a situation that comes up this week that might seem a little challenging, you will be able to take care of it just fine because we have you being wise, okay? You applying logic and that kind of thing. So you're good there. The Fool and the Queen of Cups and Voyage of the Heart goes together very well. The Fool's about to start out on his journey. When he's starting out on this journey with the Queen of Cups energy, he is exploring his intuition, his heart, he's exploring his emotions, and that kind of thing. You don't have to be a male, obviously. The Fool's just depicted as a male. This applies to my female viewers as well, obviously. You know, we're just talking about that kind of emotional, receptive, intuitive energy of the Queen of Cups combined with, you know, moving forward with that, okay? So, a voyage of the heart, okay? Love flows through you and to you. I really feel like this is letting us know that whatever it is that's inside of you that is really positive, something that can help, you know, something that can really, really help someone, that kind of thing. Make sure that you're expressing that. You don't have to just throw yourself at the feet of this person that you've been admiring from afar and say, I'm in love with you, oh my goodness. You know, that's a little bit weird. If you want to, go ahead. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just, you know, hey, I really liked what you did. You know, that kind of thing. You know, I really like how you do that. Or, you look really good in those jeans. Or whatever it is, you know. spread positivity, be a positive force in other people's life, and you will find that that will come right back to you. This particular principle is going to be especially applicable for you guys this week, okay? You guys also might be starting something new. We also have that this week is going to be very healing for you. If you've been, I mean, this can be very direct. For example, if you've been trying to get over allergies, a cold, that kind of stuff, this week you're going to feel a lot better by the end of the week, thankfully. I think that for most of you guys, though, this is more of a spiritual type of healing where you're really working on yourself. You know, when we talk about taking a voyage of the heart, you know, we're really looking inside of ourselves and finding out what's true here, you know. So we've got this knowledge and wisdom and truth, and then we've got this, you know, emotional depth as well. You know, combining these is definitely going to be very healing for you. It just feels like things are a little bit more profound this week for you guys. So it looks like a big week. It looks like a productive week. It looks like a good week. Okay? So that's how your next 7 days are going to be going. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm just so thrilled when I see that there are new subscribers, new likes, new comments, all of that great stuff. Do understand that I read every single one of the comments, but I cannot respond to all of them. Shannon, my business partner, is, you know, takes care of that, and if there's anything that I need to see, like somebody's asking a question or somebody is giving an idea for a pick-a-card reading, which, by the way, you can leave in comments and I will put it on my list. Know that it will get to me, okay? Shannon makes sure that I get all of that stuff. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be updating the channel every day this week. So do look forward to a pick-a-card reading for Tuesday, and know that I'll be doing one on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. So I have a full week there. Apologies to anybody who wants to order a regular reading. Right now the wait period is 3 weeks. If you would be okay with waiting 3 weeks, send me an email and I'll go ahead and set you up with that, okay? Otherwise, I've just got to get caught up. The priority readings, I'll get to you within 2 days, no problem, okay? Alright guys, again, thank you, and I will see you in my next video.